Hi, this is Adam Kunzmiller with Role Playing Game Geek at Gen Con 2015, and I'm joined by Chris Birch with Modifius Entertainment.
Yep.
And we're here to talk about Mutant Year Zero. So tell me about Mutant Year Zero.
So it's based on a really old game called Mutant that was created a long time ago in a land far, far away called Sweden. And it was back in the 80s, and they're a Swedish company, really cool design team called Free League Publishing have just rebooted it. And it's got this very kind of fun, eclectic system that's a dice pool that basically uses, you have like your stat in dice, your skill in dice, and if you've got some gear that's relevant as well, that throws in some dice, and you're rolling, and you're looking for radiation symbols, because the characters are all mutants.
Right.
Hence the game Mutant. So I didn't get any, so I can push again.
Okay.
But if I push again and get a broken symbol on the gear, I lose that dice on my gear from now on until I get it repaired. In addition, if I get biohazard symbols, I'm going to take some pain. But I didn't succeed. I could push again. Let's say I rolled that. I could push again.
So every time you push, you take a die away? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, where you take one of these away. So I'm now taking 2 damage, and I still haven't succeeded. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop.
Right.
So, and now the interesting thing is, here's the story. So there's about 200 of you in an ark. So an old broken ship, a battered old skyscraper where you've survived the apocalypse, and all you've known is growing up in the wasteland. There's about 200 of you. There's one human, is this old guy who's the elder. He's about to die. The food's running out, the water's running out. So you've got to go out there in the wasteland and find water and food and find out the secret of where you came from, because no one's having any babies. And every game session, 1d6 people die.
Interesting.
So it's harsh. And you're also trying to build your community. So as well as going off on adventures, you've also got to think about, well, let's try and increase the technology level. Let's try and increase the warfare value. There's 4 values of the community. So every session we start a project. So it might be, let's build a water well, because if we build a water well, we're going to get water more easily. And then we can build the farm, and then we get food more easily. And you're like, no. Let's build a wall, because we need to defend the community.
We need to protect ourselves.
And if that will add warfare value. Because when you find stuff in the outdoors, in the wastelands, it's great. We have this optional card deck. You don't need it. You can use tables. But you can go, right, you found
everything that's here is also in here.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So you found a wrench, right? So the wrench is going to give you +3 to jury rig, so you're fixing stuff. It gives you +2 to the fight skill, which is going to give you extra dice. That's great. However, you need technology 10. If your technology level isn't 10 yet, you have no idea what this wrench is.
So you just pick it up and
what does
kind of bash it against a tree and
I don't know.
Oh.
So that's a good reason to raise your technology level, because you get to use cool stuff. So the other thing is you can do, well, okay, let's turn it into the community. They'll figure it out. And that gives us +d6 to the technology level of the community.
Gotcha.
So hand stuff in, your technology level goes up, or your culture level goes up. And then when you find the really cool stuff, hopefully the level's high enough. Right. But then you've got this trade-off of, like, I've just found a katana sword. If I give it in, it boosts the culture, but it's really good.
Yeah.
So do you really want to give it in?
Cool.
So also every session, the GM draws a threat card. So for example, this might be the zone shakes, a deep rumble from the underground. Anyone not holding on something is thrown to the ground, and then it's gone. But why? So it gives you a little bit of a plot seed to discover, as well as the ongoing story.
So does this make it a little easier for the DM to prepare and not have to spend hours ahead of time?
It's not really the kind of it's not like the typical D&D game where you've got like the whole scripted adventure and there's this detailed map with all the encounters. Right. It's very much a storytelling game where the GM's got lots of kind of random event generation. It's got these threat cards. When you explore the zone map, and we give you this in each. Let's look at New York or London. So we've got New York and London in the game.
Zoom in on this.
So this is kind of like what we know about the world around us. And what we do encourage you, though, is to use your own hometown. So,
cool.
If you come from Milwaukee or Indianapolis, where would our arc be? It's like, well, okay, there's that old Radio Shack down the road. We'd all be holed up there with all the cool gear.
I love games that do that because it's so much easier to embrace the experience when you can visualize clearly where you are.
You can take a street
like
map
that,
of your old town and kind of mess it up and put some little sketches, or use New York or London, and we've got some other maps coming. So the whole idea is, as you kind of, not like a hex crawl, but as you explore each zone, we call them zone maps of the square, if it's irradiated, you're going to take rot damage. You need water to get rid of it. You need food the more every day you're traveling. And if you've got a scout, he can like help you get through rot quicker. He can help you get through zones quicker, avoid dangers. So there's a lot of kind of exploration, and there's a big plot seed that you get in the core book that you're trying to find Eden. Everything's going to be all right in Eden. If we find Eden, we'll find out all the secrets, we'll get food and water. So
that's another thing I noticed looking through this book. It's not often that you read a role-playing book that has spoiler warnings in it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting. It's like, if you're just playing this game, don't read these pages.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
And I think it's really lovely how it's done. So it's a very open game, but there is a very specific storyline that you can follow whenever you like. And you can just keep the players discovering things. We're playing it at the moment. We spent the whole first session inside the arc, dealing with an issue. They argued over which gear that they were, which project they were going to start, and they're just about to start to leave. But they've had a whole storyline already inside, and it's beautiful. It's already in Swedish, so we've got a lot of books that we're translating already. Right. There's several supplements, GM screens, and obviously you can just use normal dice. You can use 3 different colored dice.
So it should be said that normally you would just get this. These are both separate supplements that are enhancements that are completely unnecessary to play.
Yeah, we've got a GM screen.
But are nice to have.
Yeah, we just brought out Lair of the Saurians, which is it introduces long distance travel outside the scope of your zone. It's got 4 really cool plot seeds. I mean, the front cover is these like three lizard men with kind of band t-shirts on and holding spears with a nuclear submarine in the background. It's great fun.
Cool. Well, once again, that was Mutant Year Zero.
And it just won Best Rules in the Ennies.
Oh yeah, at the Ennies.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay.